Hi guys, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and I've got this to review today. This is one of the siblings of the Xiaomi Band 2 that I did a review for, several months ago. I'll put a link to that review right up here. You might want to check that review for part of this because this device interacts with the exact same app that the Band 2 does. And so I won't be going over that part again. If you want to know about the app that you use with this, watch that video. It's a good app. Although this device is Chinese only, the app that it syncs with, Mi Fit, is in English. And so this device is still very useful even if you don't know Chinese. It only comes in this one, no, it doesn't only come in this one strap. At GearBest, I've only found it in this black. The snap system that it uses to hold on to your arm, sorry for bumping that, is ingenious. It's super simple and it just works great. And back in here is where the sensors are. I'll show you a picture with that lit up. There's two little lights in there, and there's a couple other sensors as well. One of the best things about this device is how well it is designed to check your pulse and all that kinds of stuff. That makes it even more accurate than the Band 2 for tracking your sleep and when you're in a deep sleep and when you're not in a deep sleep. On the last video on the Band 2, I made comments about how I thought it was better than the Fitbit and stuff. No, I'm not an expert on these devices. I just know my own life experience with them, and I've experienced several different Fitbits, and for their cost, I don't like any of them compared to these for their cost. Now, this guy is a fair bit more expensive than the Band 2. The Band 2 has been on sale a number of times for less than $30. This guy's a fair bit more. Got the price on the bottom of the screen right now. And it functions better as well. So let me put it back on my arm. Just snaps in like that. One of the really good features of this thing is it's waterproof up to 50 meters. That's 50 meters. They say don't use it for diving, but use it for swimming if you want to. Take it in the shower, whatever you want. It has the simple feature of a clock. It says 1631, so that's 4:31. It tracks, in a circle and a dot, how far you've been walking, your pedometer, how many steps you're taking. You get to put in the app exactly what your target steps are. So when it meets it, it meets it. It checks your heart rate. It checks a lot of really good things. I'm getting distracted with this in my hand. This is the charging unit for it. Oh, I should have showed you that. It's just, USB end here and this little cable. And I shouldn't have done that before. A little bit of magnet in there. And very simply, it just, at the bottom of the sensor right there, just below the sensor where those two little dots are, this thing just sort of sits on there and you plug it in and it charges. And it's just magnetic and it falls off easily. So it's not a concern at all with, that ever breaking. Let me put it back on my arm again now. There's a number of features in here that I don't use. This thing's got a load of different features. You can use this app called WeChat with it. So you can, check your chat messages back and forth. I don't use that. It'll show your texts on here if you want to set it up with that. On your phone, you get a text that comes in. You can have it programmed to show up on your wrist instead of having to pull it out of your pocket, so you know if you want to answer that text right away or not. It shows your heart rate. It shows, let me zoom that up here. So there's that little house symbol. That's to go home. There's that chat engine. That's the weather. So you click that, and it's, there's my town, Olds. It's 1 degree outside. It's going to go to a low of -5 Celsius. And then the next one is that system dot, and you hit that system and you can check your clock. You can set alarms. You can tell it when to lock. Just loads of different features in there and your different specs and stuff as well. so you can check which firmware you have on there. And yes, it's all in Chinese, but just use Google Translate, take it on your cell phone, aim it at the thing, and you can see exactly what everything means. I really love Google Translate. It's just great for that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to do a great big long video about this. I've just been using this thing for 2 weeks now. I always use everything for at least a week before I do a review of it. Well, that's an absolute. I usually use things for at least a week. There's maybe less than 1% of things that I don't use that long. And I just love this thing. Now, let me give you some specs. This has Bluetooth 4.1 BLE, which is the really low energy system. So if your cell phone is at least Bluetooth 4.1 BLE, my cell phone's 4.2. It uses very little energy to interact with your cell phone. One of the other main features I use on this is simply as a security feature. When this is on my wrist and nearby, then my cell phone automatically unlocks when I pick it up. You don't have to use that feature if you don't want to. I choose to use it. Makes it really simple. The model of this is technically called the Amazfit Core, COR. It's the heart monitor version. 32 grams is what it weighs. It's made with stainless steel and some high-end plastics and polymers. It's got Gorilla Glass, Generation 3 of Gorilla Glass in there. Pretty good stuff. It's got an IPS LCD in there. Heart rate monitor, pedometer, sleep monitor. It has a 3-axis accelerometer, PPG heart sensor, and you can set the sensitivity of the heart sensor up a little bit extra if you want. The battery in this thing lasts about 12 days. If you bump up the heart rate sensor, it tends to last more like 10 days. You need Android 4.4 or iOS 8 or higher. The battery in here is 170 milliamp hours, and it takes about 2.5 hours to charge this thing, and it'll last for 10 to 12 days, depending on what features you use. I really like this thing. It feels good. I wear it all day long, all night long. It's very comfortable because of the materials that they use, this sort of rubberized plastic kind of material, and it just fits on my wrist very well. And although I have large hands that border on extra large, my wrist size is just medium, kind of. And I've got a lot of room that I could go smaller, and I've got 6 holes that I could go larger if I wanted to. The maximum length is 21 centimeters, and I'll put the inches on the screen here. And the shortest length is 15.5 centimeters. So that's the distance around your wrist. With my health problems and stuff, I have major allergies that cause me to have major nasal congestion, which interrupts my sleep. I have my chronic pain that interrupts my sleep. And I've got so many different things that this thing tells me how much deep sleep I've had, how much total sleep I've had, so that I know if I need to take a nap or not. I can't just trust my feelings on how I feel that day, if I need to nap or not. I've got science to tell me exactly when I've had not enough sleep and I need to get more. Because if you don't sleep enough, it will actually take time off of your life expectancy. And that kind of sucks, if you ask me. So this kind of tool could be a lifesaver for me. Well, not a lifesaver, a life extender. Who knows? Try everything you can to keep kicking this ball as long as you can. Thanks so much for watching this little video. Thanks for using my links in the description below if you choose to buy this. And thank you so much for watching this on Canadian Cutting Edge. If you don't know, I've got a second channel where I'm putting all of these kinds of videos, everything other than knives. Eventually, once that channel takes off, then I'm going to stop doing all of these videos on Canadian Cutting Edge and put everything just over there. It's called Gadgets, Goods, and Gear, and that's where I'm going to be doing all the videos of all the different stuff that's not cutting related. So please subscribe to that channel and help me out, even if you're only going to watch like 1 video a month. Just before you're going to eat dinner or whatever, click on play and set the thing aside and let it play. Just help me get some of the stats up for that channel so that I can keep getting that kind of support that I need to grow that channel. And I am very excited about knives, and the knife channel will always be my mainstay. But I like some other stuff too, and I like to share that other stuff with you too. So thanks a lot. And remember, guys, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.